Hello everyone, my name is Ruben. So today I've been working with the certain data is a car sales data set. So I for this data I've been having this data for the last 1 week. So for me I just wanted to understand about the car industry when it comes to car product as a car name, also the year when the car was manufactured, the present price of this car, the kilometer driven by the car, whether the car uses petrol or diesel, the seller type, is it from a dealer or the individual, the transmission type, is it manual or automatic, and also the owner, and then the selling price. So for me, what I want to do, I would just want to perform a simple descriptive analytics using databases. So I will be using PostgreSQL, that is pgAdmin. So from here, this is the data. I'll have to import the data to my calling platform, which is the pgAdmin. So in this case, the first thing that you need to do is to create a database. So you just come here to database. I right click on database. I want to create a database. So the database that I'll be creating, I'll be calling it the car sales. I'll be calling it the car sales. Then that is my database. What else do I need in this case? I think everything is okay. The owner is Postgres. Then I need to save it. The first step, you need to save your database. Then when you come here to the databases, you're supposed to see like database that we have. There are three. We have the car sales, we have Postgres, and a test. So under the car sales, this is the database that we'll be using. So what I want to see is the tables. If we have tables in this car sales dataset, I'll go to schema. You're supposed to go to schema. You go to where you have the tables. So you can see the table, but the table is empty because we are yet to enter columns in this table. So what you're going to do in this case, we're going to create a table under the car sales database. So the name of this, I'll call it car data, because this is the data that I want to import. So that is the first point, car data. The owner is Postgres. It is a public, no problem with that. So the first part is okay. You go to columns. I want to create columns that will be importing from this data set. As you saw here, we have how many columns? We have 9 columns. I'll be creating these columns in my database. So I'll come here and I click the add row part. So the first column is car name. So I'll just be doing it simply. Then I have to select the type of data. This is text data. So these are things that you have to understand. You move to the second one. So we'll be doing all up to the 9th one. So I'll come here. This is an year. So for year, I'll put it as an integer. It's an integer. You come up to the third one. The third column is the present price. So enter this. The present price. This should be numeric. Should be numeric. You come to the fourth column. The fourth column should be kilometer driven. So just copying and pasting it to avoid any typing error. This should be an integer. So in this case, we have to understand the data types that we have. So that's why it's critical to get you started. So this is the fuel type. So the fuel type, this should be a text. So we move to the next one. This is the seller type. So seller type is also a text. We'll just put it as a text. Also, we are almost there. The next column is transmission. So transmission also, I'll put this as a text. Yes, we go to the second last one, which is the owner. So just paste it there. I have to select this one as an integer because it's a boring one. I just put it as an integer in this case. So the last one now, which is the last column, is the selling price, which automatically will be a numeric one. So something like that. Just come here. Let me remove this one. Should be numeric. Should be something like that. So these are the columns that I'll be using to create a table in that car sales database. So we have 9 of them: car name, year, present price, kilometer driven, fuel type, seller type, transmission, owner, and selling price. And then after this, I'll just click save. Just click save. And also, apart from that, there is a way that when I come to the car table, I can refresh it to make sure that the columns are present. You see, when it comes to columns, the columns that you have created, you can see them here. So now the next question will be, also apart from doing the manually how I've been doing it, you can write a query which will help you import or create a table using queries. It's not a must you use my procedure. You can write a query to import like these, to create these columns. So the next step now will be required to get our data, the data that I already shown you. So we need now to import this data into our table or into our database. So but mostly it is into our table, the car data table. So I right click on it, I say what we call import or export the data. I click on it. So the next step would be I need to import the data. If to export, you click export. If it is to import, you come here. You can go to where you have your data set. For example, in my desktop, I know where I have the data. So for example, I have the data under this car pricing solution. So definitely this is the path. So this is the data, it's a CSV one. So you can right click on the car data and then you copy the path. So you come here, you copy the path of your data, you go back to the database, you come here and you paste. So it will be like that. Or else you can click on this icon. It will take you back to your desktop. You go to desktop, you go to where you have that folder of car pricing, and then you pick the data. It's still the same thing. It should still give you the same path. So it's something like that. So the next option should be you go to options, you make sure you select your data has a header, because the CSV must have this delimiter, and I think just that, nothing else. You can see the columns that we are going to import from that data. So because you are done with that, the next thing just be clicking OK, and you can see the public car data on database completed. If the process was not complete, this would have been rejected. So we can see we have created the data set. So what now we need to go is to go back to our table, and then we refresh. So after refreshing, we are supposed to go back to our car data, go to columns. We have 9 columns. So what now we need to do is to add this table, we need to create a query. In this case, just clicking create a query. So if we create a query, this is what you'll be seeing. Just give it a minute to have a query where an interface where we can perform our queries. So we have this interface. So the first thing will be we want to see if we have managed to import the data. So how we are going to do this is to first start with a comment. We use those dashes to write a comment. Number one is to view the data. We want to view the data, which is car data. So this is the data that we want to see. The next thing will be to write the first query, which is select. We want to select all from car data. So the car data is the table that we created. I don't forget to add a semicolon, and then after that you just click F5. You can click F5 to execute all. You come here, you click this arrow, which is means to learn the query. So you can see our data. Sorry, should take this up a bit. So you can see our data with the 9 columns. You can see we have, so the maximum rows that this data can just display is just 100. You can see them. We have the car name, the present price, kilometer driven, fuel type, seller type, transmission owner, and the selling price. So that was the first thing we wanted to see with the data. So the next thing that I'll be doing with this data, I just want to perform 10 queries, 10 questions. Just try to be very investigative when it comes to data work. So question number one that I'll be trying to figure out is trying to understand like the total number of cars in the data set. So I'll say total cars in the data set. Sorry, in the data set, that is the first thing. I want to see the total number of cars in this data set. So how will I be writing that query? So it's still the same. It's just select all. Asterisk means all. Then I need to count them. When it comes to count, then I have to use asterisk something like that. So in this case, sorry, I was not supposed to enter all there, but the all now would come in inside the count, because I want to count all the total number of cars in this data set. So I want to count them as, I want to give them a last name as total cars, as total cars, then from where I want to get them, from this data set that I'm using, total cars. Maybe this one I can enter into a new line, and I want to get them from the car data. Also this one I can just use small caps, the alias. So alias meaning like this is the name that I've given to the result of this data. I just have to put a semicolon in this case, and then I click F5 to execute this. So good, we are able to see what we're able to see. We have added 100,000 cars. So total number of cars is 100,000. So that is the first question. We are done. I need to go